The story opens in the bridge of the research vessel Peaceful Dawn, belonging to the peaceful Keth species. Captain Nalo watches in horror as massive warships surround his vessel. The Keth are a fragile, jellyfish-like species, known for their advanced science but weak military. They've never harmed anyone in their 800-year spacefaring history. The attacking fleet belongs to the brutal Vik Empire, notorious for enslaving entire species. Commander Thak boards the research ship, declaring that all Keth worlds will now serve as slave colonies. The Keth crew trembles as Thak explains how their peaceful nature makes them perfect workers. In desperation, Communications Officer Yira remembers an old legend, stories of a mythical species called humans from a death world called Earth. Ancient star charts mention them as the galaxy's most feared warriors, though no one has seen them for decades. Most believe they're just scary stories, with nothing to lose. Yira sends out a broad-spectrum distress signal toward the empty sector where Earth supposedly lies. The message is simple: help us. They're taking our children. As Vek soldiers drag away Keth families, Captain Nalo wonders if the signal will reach anyone at all. Deep in space, something stirs. Ancient warning beacons activate. The signal has been received. The part ends with a chilling scene. On a hidden world, Admiral Stone sits in a war room filled with battle-scarred humans. The distress call plays over speakers. Stone's eyes narrow as she speaks. It seems someone needs to be reminded why the galaxy fears the Deathworlders. 24 hours after the distress signal, space itself seems to tear apart near the Keth homeworld. Massive ships emerge from hyperspace, not the sleek vessels other species use, but brutal, angular warships built for destruction. The human fleet has arrived. The Vek occupation force panics. These aren't the small human trading ships they've heard rumors about. These are true warships from Earth's legendary armada. Each vessel bristles with weapons that violate several galactic treaties. Admiral Stone's flagship, Retribution, leads 50 battle cruisers toward the Vik fleet. The human ships move with deadly precision, their hulls scarred from countless battles. These are veterans of wars the galaxy prefers to forget. Commander Thak tries to flee, but discovers human ships have surrounded the entire system. He attempts to negotiate, claiming the Vek were simply relocating the Keth for their own safety. Stone's response comes through all frequencies. You touch the peaceful ones. That was your mistake. The battle begins without warning. Human. Railguns tear through Vek shields like paper. Missile barrages overwhelm their defense systems. In minutes, the supposedly mighty Vek fleet is reduced to burning wreckage. But Stone isn't finished. She opens a channel to every Vik world simultaneously. The message is broadcast across their entire empire. Release every slave. Withdraw from all conquered worlds. You have 1 week. The Vik Emperor himself responds, laughing at the human demands. His empire spans hundreds of worlds. What can one fleet do? Stone's answer is simple. Watch. The part ends as human ships split up, heading toward every major Vik military installation. The Deathworlders aren't just rescuing the Keth. They're going to dismantle an entire empire. Asterisk across the galaxy. Vek military bases receive the same terrifying visitor. Human warships appearing without warning. The attacks are surgical and devastating. Each strike targets only military installations, leaving civilian areas untouched. On the industrial world of Vek Prime, General Kroll watches his orbital defense platforms explode one by one. Human fighters move like ghosts, appearing from stealth fields to deliver killing strikes before vanishing again. Meanwhile, Captain Nalo and his rescued crew watch in amazement as human soldiers treat their wounded with surprising gentleness. Medic Davis explains that humans have strict rules about protecting non-combatants, or only monsters to those who prey on the innocent. She says the Vake try to rally their forces, but discover a horrifying truth. Humans have been watching them for decades. Every ship location, every weapon system, every tactical weakness has already been catalogued. The Deathworlders fight with information as much as firepower. Emperor Zal grows desperate as reports flood in. Entire fleets are being destroyed without inflicting a single human casualty. He orders the execution of Keth prisoners to force the humans to negotiate. This proves to be his final mistake. When news reaches Admiral Stone, her expression turns ice cold. She opens a channel to the entire galaxy, not just the Vec Empire, but every species listening. Her words carry across hundreds of worlds. The Vec have chosen to harm innocents under our protection. There will be no mercy, no negotiation, no survivors among those responsible. The message terrifies neutral species throughout the galaxy. They remember why their ancestors built warning beacons around human space. The Deathworlders aren't just warriors. They're the galaxy's judge and executioner. As human fleets converge on the Vec capital system, other alien governments begin making frantic calls. The peaceful Keth crisis has awakened something the galaxy hoped would stay sleeping forever. The part ends with Emperor Zul staring at his tactical displays in growing horror. 300 human warships are approaching his homeworld, and his entire military might has already been crushed. The siege of the Vek homeworld lasts exactly 3 hours. Human forces bypass all defenses with contemptuous ease, their ships moving in perfect coordination. They've done this before, many times. Emperor Zal retreats to his palace bunker, surrounded by his elite guards. He still believes his fortress is impregnable. Then the lights go out. Emergency power fails. The massive blast doors begin opening on their own. A single human soldier walks through the darkness, Major Kane, a veteran of humanity's ancient wars. His armor bears scars from battles across the galaxy. Behind him march 20 more humans, moving like death itself through the terrified Vic guards. The Emperor tries to bargain, offering tribute, promising to release all slaves. Kane's response is quiet but final. You killed prisoners under our protection. The time for mercy has passed. Throughout the palace, Vite nobles are dragged from their hiding places. But the humans aren't executing them. They're being loaded onto transport ships. Kane explains to the trembling Emperor, "You're going to stand trial for your crimes. Every species you've enslaved deserves to see justice." Meanwhile, human ships are broadcasting liberation signals across the Empire. Slave worlds are receiving detailed instructions for establishing their own governments. Supply ships carry food, medicine, and defensive weapons to help them rebuild. Admiral Stone coordinates the massive operation from her flagship. This isn't just military conquest, it's societal reconstruction on a galactic scale. Humans have done this before, helping species recover from oppression. Captain Nalo, now aboard a human ship, watches in wonder as his own people emerge from Vek prison camps. Children who were taken weeks ago run toward their parents. The Keth delegation weeps with gratitude, but Stone warns them, "We're not staying. We never do. You'll need to defend yourselves now. We'll teach you how." As Vec resistance finally collapses, neutral alien governments throughout the galaxy send urgent diplomatic messages to Earth. They want to ensure humans won't turn their attention elsewhere. Stone's response to these messages is broadcast openly. We return to our isolation now. But remember, we're always watching. Harm the peaceful ones again, and we'll come back. The part ends with Emperor Zul in chains aboard a human prison ship, watching his empire crumble through. A viewport. The Deathworlders have kept their promise. His reign of terror is over. Part 5. The Return to Shadow. 770 words. 6 months after the Vec Empire's fall, the galaxy settles into an uneasy peace. Former slave worlds are rebuilding with human-provided technology. The Keth have established a small but effective defense force, trained by human instructors before they departed. Captain Nalo, now promoted to Admiral of the new Keth fleet, visits the memorial erected for their human saviors. The inscription is simple: to the Deathworlders who answered our call. Thank you for reminding the galaxy what justice looks like. But humans have vanished as quickly as they appeared. Their ships departed without ceremony, leaving only memories and grateful populations behind. Trade requests to Earth go unanswered. The Deathworlders have returned to their mysterious isolation. On distant worlds, former VEC officials who escaped justice tell bitter stories in cantinas. They speak of human ships that appeared from nowhere, of soldiers who moved like ghosts, of an empire dismantled in weeks by beings from a planet that shouldn't exist. Other alien species listen nervously to these tales. Pirates and raiders find their operations suddenly less profitable. The memory of human intervention keeps predators cautious dot in the galaxy's neutral zone. Ambassador Relic of the Trade Council drafts a formal proposal. He suggests establishing permanent communication with Earth, offering alliance agreements and mutual defense pacts. His aide asks if humans will respond. Relic stares at the star charts, remembering ancient warnings about the sector where Earth lies hidden. They'll respond if we need them, he says quietly. That's what terrifies me about them, and what gives me hope. Deep in human space, Admiral Stone files her final report. The Keth situation has been resolved with minimal casualties. The galaxy remains stable. The mission is complete. She powers down the war room displays, sealing the base once again. Around her, thousands of human ships return to their hidden stations throughout space. The Armada sleeps, but it never truly rests dot in her personal log. Stone makes one final entry. The galaxy forgets quickly. Some species will test our resolve again. They always do. When that happens, we'll be ready. We're always ready. The story ends where it began, with a distress signal reaching human space. This time, it's from a species called the Moth. Their world's under attack by something called the Hive. A communications officer looks at Admiral Stone questioningly. Stone's response is the same as always. Prep the fleet. Someone needs our help. As human ships begin emerging from their hidden bases throughout the galaxy, the final line reflects the eternal truth. The Deathworlder's deadly armada never truly sleeps. It only waits for the next call for justice among the stars. Asterisk.